Good evening and welcome everybody to Ssrl Division 1 pre-season race number 2. We are at Canada this evening. You're joined in qualifying currently at the moment, and just waiting to see who will be the first person to leave the pits. And my shit's frozen. What the hell? My shit is frozen. Okay. Can't even press start or anything. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. It's popped up again. Ah, finally. Is someone leaving? Oh, someone leaving the pits. Let's have a look and see. We also need to double check. What track is this? This track is Canada. I just want to double check to see what the time of the pits is going to be. Pit loss time of 17.5 seconds. Let's call that 18 seconds. Okie dokie. Let's have a look. Just to make sure these game settings are good. Making sure we can hear. I'm just going to double check the stream. If you're expecting great commentary tonight, I would turn off LOL, because it's not going to happen. I am an amateur at best. The only reason I'm doing this is because I have an injured toe and I can't race. So it's a case of try and make sure the guys have something to watch, as commentary will start on the first official race in Austria. Okay, so we're going to go on board with the Red Bull driver, headed on his way down to turn 1. Locks up a little bit, as you can hear the squeal of the rear tyres. Most of you have driven this track before know it's very rear limited, meaning that the wear is going to be crazy as hell on the rear tyres. I'm expecting amazing commentary, says Race Chase. Well, you come to the wrong place, buddy. It's not happening. So he's down to turns 8 and 9. Does a pretty good job there. Looking to see what time he's going to bring in as we get the time rolling. Only 16 today, a lot of late dropouts, but that's the way it goes in league racing. I think with a pre-season race, You're either in or you're out. The guys who are in will gain an advantage because they'll have more practice time racing against each other. And the guys who... Oh, Fellison retires. I wonder why. I'm sure the Discord chat will light up. Oh, whoa. 5 place grid penalty for Flip. Veraduco crosses the line with a 14.2. Not a very solid time, but I'm sure he will go again. Let's see if we're on a... Flip's got no front wing at all, and he's invalidated. He's got a 5 place grid penalty, so he's going to have to wow the traffic. Bavish is not going to be happy about that one, as I believe that's Vincenzo getting a slipstream. Is that Vincenzo getting a slipstream? What's going on? Oh, he is invalidated. The smoke is a joke. Yes, indeed. Mr. Cloud saying the smoke is indeed a joke. Kovaska seems to be on hot lap now. All the way down towards turn 14 and all the champions. Does he stick the landing? Oh, ish. I thought that would have been an invalidation, but I guess not. As he burns to the line with a 112.9, which is good enough for P6 at the moment. Andrew's one to watch for this game. It seems to agree with him quite well. He's had a good result so far. I believe double podium. I may be wrong. I may be terribly wrong, but I believe he had a podium. Had a P2. He had a P2, and then the Las Vegas race was a bit of a shambles actually, so we won't count that. But he's had some good outings so far. Pace is looking quite high compared to some of the other guys. Now Williams won the constructors in Division 1 last year, so even though the drivers are different, the constructors are looking to do it again, and they've got quite an amazing lineup with Sebastian and Andrew at the wheel of the Williams. As he pulls to the side for the McLaren of Ssrl, who locks up completely, destroys the marker boards for the pit entry. I really need to learn how to use these shortcuts really. We're on with Vincenzo. It's hard to know who's on a hot lap and who isn't, really. I don't have that commentary instinct, unfortunately. I'm trying to look at the track map to see who's going fast and who isn't, but there's a lot of people going on. It looks like he's saving somehow, maybe. Looks like he's running out of fuel as well. Oh, what's going on there, bruh? Whoa. You guys better get all of these out of your system before the season starts, because you won't be able to be doing that. The two Saubers are 1-2. We're gonna just switch to Andy currently, who looks like he's just going through turn 2. Oh, what is this? What turn is this? What turn is this? He's headed up to 8 and 9 now. Seems to be catching a slipstream. Hopefully this Ferrari lets him go. It's no problem. Now Andy's last season is champ. He's been a champ for a long time here. I think pretty much since he joined he's been a champ, and he hasn't let go of the championship belt. He started off a little bit slower compared to the likes of Sebastian. Looks like he's hitting back hard with a 109.8. First driver into the 109.8s. There's a big gap as well. 7/10 difference. I'm going to go on board with Mr. Wouter for his lap. Down turn 3 and 4. don't know whether he wants that toe from Andy. Let's have a bet on how many track limits we think we're going to get today. Look at the smoke. He's impeded him because he's distracted. Well, more distracted than impeded, but still. Least you could have done was give him a little toe down the straight there. Let's see if he'll nail turn 14 or if he'll stack it into a wall of champions. Ooh, he invalidates. Thought that was a bit safe from him, but he invalidates. And my kid starts to climb on me. Brilliant. As you can hear in the background, random screaming. Let me make sure I've got this recorded. It's all pretty tight apart from the front two. A 110.2 from Bavish. Missed that completely. Sorry, buddy. Trying to make sure I've got a good run of things. I think he's going again. He's picked a very awkward spot to stop because there's two people coming down there. He's going to have to try and go now. He's going to have to try and go. He's off. The racing ball down the line, following his, I don't know whether to call it a sister team or a mother team, and whatever the case may be. He just looks like he's going to be picking up dirt. Yeah, though he shouldn't have let that person go. It's just going to slow him down. He's catching them very, very, very easily. Yeah, Crank George is on a hot lap. And that's just going to be, yeah, look, there's the dirty air that I was just talking about. As he loses the rear end. That is not good. He should have never let that go. But you can never really tell who's on a hot lap and who isn't. Who's pushing. The dirty air is just destroying Energetic's lap. Which is his own fault. He should have just kept going. I know he wanted a clean run, but pretty sure he thought that the guy was on a hot lap, and when he came out, you know, didn't work out for him. So his lap is now destroyed. R-Biz, aka Ryan Brooks, overtakes the Andy Andre on an out lap. Headed down. This is a new racer for us. Reserve. Mr. Ryan Brooks himself. In a Haas. No assists. He's invalidated that lap, so that's no good. But it was a 1:11.6, so it would have put him P8, P9 possibly. Second away from the likes of No Danger David. A lot of invalidated laps here, a lot of invalidated laps.
Hello.
Guten Tag. Oh, a Guten Tag.
Stream me a POV, please.
Is it not working out? Oh, we have a Red Bull stop on track.
Nothing is working. Next thing is gonna be happening is a mental breakdown of mine.
I'm trying to make sure that it's not going to stream in like a silly resolution.
Nothing is working fine.
No, I think it's gonna. I don't know what it's doing to OBS. Oh my god, what's going on?
You should lower the
Oh,
quality maybe.
oh no, OBS is not
You've got
responding.
like 4K or something for me.
Okay, okay, I have to run it like that in 720. Otherwise OBS freaks out. Right, so we have Vincenzo on top, the man who wants to drive in D2 but keeps putting it close to pole or on pole. Following
Yeah.
him is his teammate Andy Andre, which should be a very
What
strong
happened to
pairing.
Fellison?
Fellison put a very cryptic comment in the D1 chat signifying that the smoke is horrible. So I'm guessing that he had a tangle with Flip because Flip also has a 5-place grid penalty.
And there was a late invalidation for Viraduk on that run we just saw. And Andy goes to top by roughly 2 tenths as Kiesauber continue to hold the top spot at the moment with Bevish a further 3 and respectively 5 tenths behind as the V-car pairing of David and Energetic even further away from that at the moment, while the rest is closely matched. Let's see what the final runs inside of this short qualifying session can bring, as we see warm-up from David, puts in second outlap it seems here, currently on the back straight, one of the best overtaking opportunities, and he's gonna start off this lap. And we're gonna be joining him on board as he's approaching the start-finish line, currently approaching into turn 1, takes a lot of curb on the inside as you should, but don't get it invalid on the inside there, then run to the outside up the hill, one of the only elevation changes you can see, and then a bit down into 4 and 5, don't cut the inside line, a lot of chicanes where you can get it wrong. First sector is done, 1.5 tenths up on his previous best runs, a bit of the curb, the car's a bit twitchy there on the inside rotation, as we blast down the newest DRS detection zone that has been added in recent years. Now the next chicane of 8 and 9 blast down the into the hairpin, and now he is approaching the slowest part of this racetrack and is heading straight out into what is now going to be the slipstream, as you can see from his teammate, and he is using that last bit of energy as he's approaching the 100-meter board, turns it in, cut a lot of the inside curb, then move to the outside next to the Wall of Champions, crosses the line now, and improves by, I can't see it because Ecology just turned down in stream, so
Sorry
he's
about that.
second though.
It's 109.8. The stream keeps freezing, so I don't know if I need to drop the frame rate perhaps. But I don't know how that's going to be good for you, Herman, on
I can check how the delay is maybe.
Energetic is on his hot lap currently, down towards turn 8 and 9. Sends it quite happily through there, uses all of the track on the exit as he heads down to the hairpin. Third gear for Energetic, he's on throttle quite early, which is quite good. Boosts out of the corner, full traction there. Down all the way to turn 14, this is going to be his next. The V-Carbs are looking quite strong, to be honest, as a team. Oh, he hits the wall of champions, possibly losing another 1 or 2 tenths there with that. But he still improves by 4 tenths to a 1:10.381. How's the quality, Herman?
Yeah, better now, but the delay in your YouTube stream is quite long. He's just exiting the hairpin, which is quite far away. Vincenzo's last lap is going to be invalidated as the clock has struck 0 now. Bevish is in the top 4, who's the only one who can really change the outcome of that front 2 rows, with Flip now putting in his only time good enough for P6 at the moment, with Tarkangino, Wouter, Krangyork, Arbis, Verdugo, and Silbo all through. And Bavish didn't improve, and that's your final grid for the race. As Andy takes yet another pole position, 2 tenths away from Energetic. No improvement for Vincenzo means he's in third, together on the grid with Bavish, then Energetic, and Flip. Two Dutchies next to each other. And then we have Rowley, Taki, Gino, Andrew, Wouter for your top 10, Kranko, Kovachka,
This is going to
Arbis.
be a very, very hard track to navigate with the amount of invalid laps that I can see that's been gone on. It's going to be a long night of penalties, I think. Some of the drivers do have an advantage. Drivers such as Rowley, No Danger David, Tarkangino, and Bavish, who raced here for 70 laps last night in Rowley's Realistic League. So they do have they might have got all of their penalties out yesterday, so today they can focus on maybe getting better results. I know that David crashed out last night in his first race for Ferrari in the Realistic Performance A1881 League, which you can find that on Sunday evenings. PlayStation only, but you can find that on Sunday evenings, usually after
Race
the
Chess
real
in
Grand
the
Prix.
chat impressed by the 109. Yeah, that is in fact quick.
Yes, indeed. Andy on top again. I mean, were we really surprised? We were just sort of waiting for him to sort of figure it out and get back to the top spot.
Yeah, that's true.
I do think Sebastian will give him a very, very, very tough fight for this championship, though. As I
I'm
predict,
surprised
will.
Andrew is that down.
Yeah, I was just saying earlier that he had such a good couple races um, in the first two pre-seasons. His form looked quite good. Maybe this is just not a track that suits his style, possibly.
Yeah, we have to wait and see if that's actually the case. Qualifying is obviously not as important as and has been currently in the 2025 season, because in league racing a lot of other stuff can happen. And if you look at how Charles Leclerc was furious about Isaac Hatcher in qualifying about dirty air from a car that was 100 meter away before he applied the brakes for the 7 chicane. I don't think it's that severe here. More it
Not
has
from what
been.
I saw earlier with Energetic and Crankjorg. Uh, very, very, very much affected by the dirty air. We'll see from the replays eventually. But yeah, I think it's enough. If you're too close, you will definitely get affected for sure.
Yeah, but stay close on distances, I would say. Way better than the current generation of cars, also including.
Oh, I should probably tell the group when we're going to be starting. I think
That's a
50,
good idea.
59 would be good. Let us have a message. So, top picks, Herman. Who have you got?
Mm, Andy, Dave, and let's go for. Yeah, come on, energetic, why not? Top 3. Yourself?
Currently, I think I'm gonna go with. I don't know what order, but I'm thinking Andy, David, and Energetic because I think Vincenzo may suffer penalties. I mean, they all may suffer penalties, but I think, judging from past races, it's that um, it's more than likely going to be sort of Vincenzo. As they now get, did I not put formation lap on? Oh my god.
Apparently not. 5 red lights, and away we go for the Canadian pre-season race. And Andy is off to a good start, and there's immediately a challenge by Vincenzo into turn 1. He's taken a place away from David, as people have been shuffling around, and you can see Andrew up by 4 places already. What a start by the Romanian driver in the Williams car. And Bevish is having him in his mirrors already, as Rowley is up into 6, as well as Tarkingino. Flip had a horrible start, losing 3 positions there. And Feddersen also up by 3 already, as RB is fighting with him and his car, obviously, as he's quite close to Kovachke at the exit of 6 and 7. Now into this very tricky braking and high curb chicane, and Feddersen already 3 seconds. This was very fast, not even 2 full sectors for someone to get a penalty here. As there's a move by the Haas, and I was very late. I didn't think Kovachke was gonna expect that from him on the inside. Then there's already quite a significant gap in between the first 5 cars, and they're gonna be losing the DRS if they don't push it now. And pushing here is quite an interesting task, especially with no full sunny conditions. We're kind of overcast at the moment, as these first couple of corners are now being completed, and the next, and there's another 3 seconds already, and that is for Vincenzo, who's currently occupying 2nd position, as we watch Bevish head into the start of the 2nd sector, being close enough. Oh, there's a crash! Vincenzo lost it, and David hit him, and Vincenzo's off, but that has to be certainly damage for the V-Cup, as Bevish takes 2nd place, and Andy has signed off. Season 5 revival is here, ladies and gentlemen. As we can see, David has lost it. It doesn't seem to be that severe of a damage. Maybe just a bit of an end plate. No, not even visually something's wrong. So quite a scare moment there for David, as he's now approaching the back straight. Best overtaking opportunity on this track. And he's going to be using that DRS. No pressure from behind, as Andrew is not in his mirrors at all. But he's pulling a train with Rowley, Flip, and Vincenzo, who's now dropped down to 7th after a good start, and he is losing a car in the background. Andrew that is, and Rowley's up into 4th, and Walter with the next 3 seconds. How do you do that? And
oh
there's
my
another
god!
Spin. Flip just touched the slightest end of Andrew, and he's going down to P12. Flip is 11th now, and there's a lot of green stuff on his tires. There's another yellow flag at the end of the lap for Ssrl for a moment, but that has been cleared quite efficiently, and Bevish has even closed down the gap already to 1.7 seconds instead of the 2 we had previously. David into 3rd position, still is chasing the McLaren, and there's a 10-second speeding for Crankert, which is not gonna be good, and he's retired already. Nothing he wants to be doing in this race anymore, and there's now a bloom of smoke coming from the tires, as Tarkingino is fighting with Vincenzo for what is currently 5th position if you disregard time penalties. And this start has been hectic. David takes 2nd place away from the McLaren, as he seems to be in good state for this opening part of the race, as he puts the fastest lap of the race as well. 1.5 seconds is putting pressure on Andy, and you have stated yourself, maybe 50 laps yesterday, even on realistic performance, might be an advantage. How are you looking at this opening stint, Quincy?
Originally, when I picked my top 3, Bavish was in the back of my mind, but I know that sometimes he makes a little mistakes here or there that can cost him quite a fair amount of time. So that's why I went with Energetic. But don't count Energetic out yet, because you know he can turn around He has been known for different strategies, alternative strategies in the past, and I'm hoping we get to see him back on a podium. New guy, RB is doing pretty well. He's just jumped Fellison again. He's new to league racing. I met him in another league on Friday. He seems like quite a good guy. Hoping that he stays around with us for future races. Tarkin Gino back up into P6. I don't know why that says 1 position gained when he's qualified in the same location. But if we look at the tyres, which we didn't look at in the beginning, Mr. Wouter has gone on the hard, so he's done well to survive in P5, and he will be looking to go longer than these. I don't think this is a 2-stop from what I've heard from certain people. You could stretch these tyres to a 1-stop, but it is tricky at the end, I've been told. So Wouter on the opposite strategy, everybody else on the mediums. Away to you, Herman.
Yeah, speaking of water, his teammate Philip has already made that pit stop to the hard tire. Would be surprised if this is still a 1-stop, especially after we've seen how the softer range compared to the previous iteration of 24-25 as Bevish is going side by side into the hairpin. DRS should be with David as the detection point is right after the 8-9 chicane, and that is not the case, so they might have been
what?
also equal. Yeah, they were just separated by an inch maybe, and Bevish got it in the end, so he's gonna be using that on both of these straights to get away. That is obviously always a good picking point if you're sure you can get that move done into the hairpin and you were close to the guy in front. You can be using that DRS to get away and even boost your advantage until the next DRS detection point, which is quite soon again, as we have more people into the pit lane, including Fellison and Vincenzo. Yeah, I would be surprised if even after tire scaling and softer range it still works.
He slides into that corner there.
Yeah, bit
That's
of
Arbis.
drifting going on there.
Yeah, Arbis picks up his first 3-second penalty. There is a swap for position with Andrew, and oh, Andrew's round again.
Is there a wing missing that looked like?
Yes, end plate is gone completely there.
Maybe, yeah, maybe even more. I think the upper flaps are also missing, so probably orange wing damage to the Williams as I'm following this group of cars now.
This is a lovely train of cars. Let's see who will bite, who will get out of this DRS train and go for a move. As they're burning battery, it looks like the Haas driver. Oh, the Ferrari is going for it. And he takes it as he gets a second dosage of DRS. Oh! What a save! What a save by the Turkish driver, who's got a lot of experience spinning.
On Tarkin Judo is ahead of Kovetska, and there's now a very feisty Haas car behind, almost in his rear diffuser, as there were both of them having better traction and better car control. Rolly saved that beautifully, but his momentum was killed, and then he just moved up, down 2 positions. Now Tarkangino is into 5th position at the moment, as Wouter has now cleared them with the DRS already, as there's another spin. And this is by Veroduco for P11 now, as both Fellison and Flip make the way pass. One more thing on tires, I think in previous years there were already quite strong suggestions that mediums or even other tire compounds wouldn't stretch out to 1-stop. I remember 2020 game you would still be faster with 2 stops. And I think you can make it work because the pit lane is so short, only 18 seconds, and yeah, it's obviously more fun and you can push more on fresher tires, as there's been someone heading into the pit lane, and I think that might be Rolly, as he's the only IP driver. Oh,
Babish hits the wall, but he does seem to be pulling away from David slightly. Hopefully he will be catching up to the leader soon and he'll be giving him a fight. Now, I spoke to Bavish a little bit earlier, just before the race, and he did mention that he was picking a different option when it came to setups versus last night. He went a little bit higher last night on the downforce. He said he was going to try and do something of a lower downforce. I don't even know if it's possible here. I mean, there's a lot of straights, but there's a lot of corners as well that you need the extra downforce for. But he said he was going to try a little bit of a lower winged setup. So seems to be working very well for him. He's got some speed. He's catching, and he's also losing David. David seems to be losing mega time to Bavish now that he's out of the
And he
DRS, and he
pits though.
pits. So the tyres must be dead. 8 laps. I'm very surprised about that, to be honest. I wonder if it's definitely rear. It's definitely the rears, I would say, over the fronts. As you know, very rear limited track, this track. As well, gets up into P3.
Can you switch off the penalties?
Oh,
Because it's
yes.
blocking the view of who's pitting.
Tarkangino.
Are you using the keyboard?
No, I'm using the wheel.
Ah, okay.
I wish I could remember those keyboard shortcuts. Never used them, that's why. Hard to remember. As we have Tarkangino comes back out, right behind Rowley. Fellison having a...
One of the earlier stoppers in the field, together with Philipp, only 3 seconds behind, but I think for Flip that's certainly a 2-stop, and
yeah,
can
100%.
see why he went from the medium tire, especially after that poor getaway and being stuck in a bit of a squeeze there. And the last driver
As
new
Bavish pits.
and that is an undercut attempt. There were 3-second gaps suddenly, so maybe there was a slight mistake, and then he thought like, okay, the tires are gone now, before I lose more time, let me pit, and this is the hard tire for him.
I think David may undercut him here. Yep, both the RBs do. As he boosts the battery out of the pit lane, David has cleared him with the undercut. His teammates letting him go. Probably not the best place to. Oh, look, little bit of teamwork there going ahead with the RBs. Maybe they're working together early to see if they can... Oh, wonderful move.
What a move by Bavish.
That is one for the overtakes.
Switchback,
Oh my goodness. They're really going for it.
And he got him back. That was even more beautiful if you ask me. Nice move by Energetic on the old tires.
Really good racing from these two. The Mauritius driver and the Dutch driver there. As he helps his teammate just inch that bit further. He's out of DRS now, so you won't be any safer. And this is what I'm going to be talking about, because if you look at the straight line speed that's going to be happening here, it just seems like Bavish is just pulling very close, and he goes to the inside. What is with this camera? Oh, that's definitely a track limit. Ah, an Energetic spins. I don't think that was the fault of Bavish. I think that was a decent move.
Like Energetic got scared as he rejoined over the curb on the inside.
Oh, he's stuck. Reset. Reset.
To check.
Yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. In this league, you can reset if you are beached. It's a sensible thing to do. You don't want to get disqualified and ruin your race. But he severely helps David out there. David's now nearly got nearly a 2-second gap now to Bavish. No DRS and clean air. So, yeah, there we go. If David can keep this clean, I'm sure that a good podium, possible win, we never know. Andy hasn't pitted yet. He's out there just managing tyres probably.
Chance of crash.
Let's have a look at his damage. Why does it not change the camera type?
And
my God. Oh, no, it doesn't look like he's damaged at all. Yep. I did tell him when I saw his name it was silly. It's very hard to say.
Arbiz.
Arbiz. He means business.
He means business. He overcut by a long shot. Almost 3 to 4 laps longer on those mediums compared to the rest, and he's dropping down the field by quite significantly as Kovachka, Flip, and Tarkin Gino just ahead of us.
And how will this fresh tyres suit him better? Because tyre wear is very high rear deg in this track, as we've said before. He's joined back at a very good time actually, because he'll get DRS, so he won't lose, I guess, too much time.
But he can't pass,
he
and
can't
then
pass.
it's
Yeah,
traffic.
it's traffic indeed.
And he has pitted as well. Walter, to be expected, he started on the hard as we looked on, and he's extending that medium tire. But he also didn't have to push that much, I would say. I think all of the other drivers, especially in the midfield, it feels like to me they're pushing more. They're more on the edge. They have more pressure because they have people around them. They want to stay in that DS train. They're using a lot of battery. I've seen barely anyone have a consistent battery charge around 70 or 80 even in a train. And there's another time penalty for Flip as he's closing in on Kovachka, who is also DRS. Is there enough racing room left until turn 1? He thought about it, but then moved back into the slipstream of the Alpine. A better line there. I got a bit close there, but there's nothing really going on in this part of the track for overtaking, only if your guy ahead does a huge mistake. And we have the opportunity to see if there's another
There's
one. And
energetic for
Energetic has
tyres,
crashed it
and there's a
on the
virtual
track.
safety car.
And Flip spins it in that same moment. And just in the background. And this is the perfect timing for our race leader, as if he didn't have it any easier, to pit under virtual safety car, and the contention for any kind of win from anyone else other than him is now certainly gone, as Walter pits as well, has a good opportunity and might be in that fight for a legitimate podium now, as so many people at the front have time penalties, more pit stops coming in behind him.
It's really messy
But
timing for a safety car here, virtual safety car for Wouter, because as you know, he was on those hard tyres, and he could probably now go towards the end on those new hards. Whereas Mr. Wouter may have to stop again. I need to go do something right now, so I'm going to leave you with this midfield pack. That is close, and I'll be back as soon as possible.
Alright, Quincy off to daily duties. We can look at the just discussed proposal about Wouter. One thing here is that Fellas and Flip, all of them pitted early. They're gonna have to be pitting again. The SS has been enabled. No, and Fellas has crashed it. And now Flip goes round again. And there's no immediate intervention by the safety car again. Why not? He's just standing on the track there. How do you lose this under virtual safety car? There was like 3 seconds still to go. And that's another DNF. For Fallison. D1 is not treating him right. What a bizarre incident. We just had green flags in that corner where he crashed, and then he just spinned it. Yeah, well, Ward has the opportunity to go with the medium now, and later with the soft even if he wants to. And then let's see how it works. Because you shouldn't be extending these tires too much, and then a fresh one might also help, as just said. Some people have stopped early and will have to go again anyway. The gap at the front is down to 2.3 seconds, but yeah, David has stopped quite early and is not really keeping up the pace, as we are continuing with the fight for top P6, as there's another 3-second time penalty for the Haas inside, and Kovachka is going to be licking his fingers because he's going to get these 2 positions for free without any time penalties of himself. Gonna using the ERS here on the straight. Bevish is following David closely. David is obviously under pressure there, despite Bevish currently equipped with a 3-second time penalty, as Rowley and Wouter have bigger gaps regarding the current situation of the virtual safety car. And oh, RB is quite close. That Takajino even touched him there into turn 2, but there's no major damage.
And he's back as Bavish is in the DRS of No Danger David
And
after.
Fellison's crashed after the VSC ended.
Oh,
Yep.
let's have a little interview.
Uh,
Fellison, how did your crash came to be? We saw that you had quite a few penalties quite early on. What was going on in the first couple of sectors there?
My first penalty was because I went off the road, but instead of a warning, I got a penalty straight away. But the game, I don't know what to do with the game because it just keeps having these like screen freezes, and it's just unplayable. Honestly, it's unplayable.
Me and Truckster
I
went
can't.
through some graphical changes from my settings, which really helped me. I no longer have any stuttering, so there is stuff that we can
I
possibly
think
check
my
out.
problem is with the CPU usage, not, and I don't know what to do against it. I've done everything that I could do my research on,
Okay.
at
and
least
it's
your
not
game is
helping.
starting. I just redid my PC for 3 times over the weekend, and now it's not even starting anymore. And it worked like 2 hours ago. But I rather have not starting than what you're having, so
Yeah, the stuttering
I
was
feel about that.
very bad. Yeah, Bavish is closed up
And it
to.
just upgraded my graphics card, which should be better on high performance. But that isn't.
Bavish has DRS. Looks like he's going to be trying to take this. Possibly not. Oh no, he's going for it in turn 14. Oh no. He's faking a little bit. Doesn't look like he had the greatest exit out of that turn though, so he'll have to wait and try again the next lap. Wouter's pretty much in a race of his own, just like Andy Andre, who's up the
Yeah,
road.
but he has caught up by a second now. Walter is currently probably second fastest.
Danger David with the fastest lap currently, only by a couple of hundredths, 300ths of a second away from Andy's time on the same hard tyre. As Rowley pits for hard tyres now, which will surely take him to the end. Tark and Gino and our business fighting into turn 3. Oh my god, what a move. That's a crazy place to send it. Looks like it works out
That's
though.
4.
4, sorry, apologies.
Nice move, definitely.
As he
Yeah,
now wants to lead the pack.
yeah. Fresher tires than Takajino, if I remember correctly, so that's obviously helping.
Yep, by 3 laps. 3 laps younger tyres. Probably
And Bevish
reaching the
with another
warmth
time
now. Bavish with another time penalty. Let's just check the time penalties. 6 seconds for Bavish, so it looks like the 12 seconds he had last night wasn't enough.
Walter's gonna be closing in soon. Also, Flip spun twice. I think he got scared by Fellison's car on the road because he just redid the same spin before the VSC was, and then he pitted again. So yeah, his race went down the drain again. 20 seconds over pit stop behind Rowley, who just pitted. As Andrew is continuing to struggle, but close to Vincenzo in the next moments. You can see if there's anything. And Bevish also has lost 4 seconds now to
Must have
David,
had a moment that I missed. Apologies about that. Wouter's caught back up to the rear of
Without
him.
close.
Very close. How much fresher tyres has he got?
Just
Softer compound.
100% ES battery. Let's see. Back straight might be an opportunities using 20% already.
I think he's going to wait for another lap possibly. It's not close enough yet. Or
Maybe
he might
turn
do it
1
into
if he
turn 1
fancies
maybe,
it.
yeah. I always found that it's very hard because DRS is so little on this in this start finish straight that you have to
Yeah.
be very
Also,
close. to try and move.
Chicanes don't have with racing, but they haven't gotten the notice on Canada.
Mm.
So yeah. Great turn, but just get rid of one of these chicanes. Like 5 is enough, please. Most of the time I enjoy this track and kind of works, obviously. But for example, this next one is just why is
Shocking,
it
yeah. Turns 8 and 9, I believe. Not
this
not
one,
my
yeah.
favourite. Not my favourite at all.
Especially after the S zone, you just saw yesterday how racing isn't possible there, and I don't think Albon nor Isaac had done something wrong there, and then he just went off. 10 seconds is the lead now at the top with Bevish and Walter closing in on David. So there's now another one with a mistake. In the last couple of
David currently on
laps.
2 warnings, so needs to be as
You
careful
can
as
see that
possible.
as well.
Yep.
Might tell me as well what he had for breakfast then. What is the button for you on cockpit view to look back?
It's my right clutch button. Strange, I know, but easy to grab.
You go on board and...
Ooh, that's really weird.
Yeah, whatever.
You weird Quincy.
No, but his ERS is on his clutch, which I'm like, yeah, that is weird. I like buttons I can press. Clearly not for looking back. I don't have enough buttons. I think this right here is the only battle that we can see as Bavish closes back up again on Nadej David. He was 4 seconds, I believe, behind. How is he catching this much time? David maybe underdriving a little bit, maybe?
Must have been a mistake because the gap went up by 5 seconds to Andy.
Oh!
Takes up by Bevish.
Are we going to have another repeat?
Yeah, don't repeat this from yesterday. Different car in front, side by side into turn 1. Lot of entry curb taken by the McLaren around the outside. There's a lot of grip on the outside, but the inside is just shorter up until the run until turn 4, and he is ahead. He stays ahead. David, that is. A lot of time penalties for Bevish are not going to be in his favor for a second place finish here, as Mr. Walter is still within that 3 seconds needed to clinch and push Bevish off of that top 3, but quite a nice fight, and that was the moment you talked about, Quincy, when you are close enough and you have that better exit, then you can have a look. But then going around the outside for this little bend on the straight just when the line hits,
He's close enough now.
Go longer. There's another fight. Tarkangino just pitted a lap ago. Flip against Tarkangino on the main straight into turn 1 now. Stayed the same, and Bevish takes second place on track away from David, and he's not wanting that third warning. He drives a bit cautiously over the curbs there, or maybe he's just not feeling it with the setup today. But this is pre-season, this is for testing. Whatever you tried and it didn't work, don't do it again.
These pre-season races, there it is.
And time penalty.
3-second penalty, which he's still in a position to gain this second place because the nearest driver to him has a penalty of 20 seconds. Wouter has also got a penalty as well. So as long as he keeps it on track, keeps within that DRS, maybe out of Wouter's DRS, he could do this. I believe Wouters may have to pit again for another set of tyres.
Yeah, if you think you should, I think you should too as well.
9-lap-old medium tyres. Most of the guys only went 10 laps on the mediums earlier on. I think Andy was the only one stretching his until the virtual safety car with 13. So I doubt very much that he'll be going to the end. So he'll be looking to stop again. The difference is, are they gonna take advantage of this 20-second gap they've got to Biz?
Yeah, Walter should be also there was just a double pit stop by Andrew and Vincenzo, and both of them joined the battle at the front and at the back of Flip and Taki and Gino, and this is for position now. Also what you mentioned, Wouter would or is in need to do 20 laps on the medium. I would do that, rather have maybe a 7 laps stint on a soft now in a couple of laps time, as there's a 3-second time penalty for a race leader, which means that only Kovachka and Andrew are the only ones without a time penalty, as there's a blue flag moment for Boys who's been now lapped. And there's a moment off the racing track by Danger David as Takajino and Flip are fighting. Please join this battle. Because
Mr. Wouter now within striking distance. 7/10 is a bit too far back to get him on this straight, I believe.
There's a moment probably into turn 1, and we missed it.
Oh, my apologies.
They're so close. Yeah, and Andrew is by on Flip.
As Wouter pits.
There's a pit stop. Then maybe 9 laps should be fine. Okay, show me how many stops everyone made.
Delta, there we are. Remembering these short keys as Flip gets another 3-second penalty.
Kovachka in the pits as well. Yeah, Arbis is interesting because he went the longest on the medium. And as you said, you can do the one stop, but it's going to be tricky at the end. Let's see if that is working.
Yeah, he could
Kovachka
end
was
up
quite close, and he's now pitting again, and he needs to be getting like 19 seconds worth of track time back in the next 10 laps.
When did Andy get a 3 seconds? I didn't even see him do that.
I just said that maybe like 30 seconds ago.
My bad, my bad. Pressing these buttons. So I think it's a cool P5 for Arbiz if he continues to go long. Rowley behind him, 7-lap old hards. Don't know whether he'll be able to catch that up. It just depends on how these next 10 laps go with his ever-wearing tyres for the businessman. Bavish up into P2 as he pits. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I was all the time on the stream cam. How did you not notice the quality loss?
I didn't. Stream cam? What do you mean?
Maybe ear loss is quite imminent now, my friend.
Possibly, with the old age creeping in.
I just saw Race Jay's message in the chat and he said a couple of minutes
Herman's
ago
mic is a little bit low.
on.
Oh. I'm oblivious to the chat, unfortunately, Race Chase, my bad. Wouter up into P2. I think Andy would then go for another medium because he's not got the fastest lap, but you know, I think he would like to get that. All competitors, if they have the chance, will go for the fastest lap to see if they can complete as well. So if he can complete the hat trick, pole, fastest lap and win. And I believe he's led every lap as well, so that would be known as a Grand Slam, if that's correct.
Yeah, that is correct.
So yeah, if I were Andy, I would probably pit for a new set of mediums. 18-second pit, he's still come out 9 seconds ahead with the 18 stop pit loss. So let's see what he does.
Wait 2 more laps maybe or so, and then go for the soft. Even faster. Only Kovachka remaining over the time penalty, and I'm pretty sure I jinxed it now. So
let's have a look and see what kind of warnings he's on. He's on his last warning, so it could come. I hope it doesn't for his sake. He can be the cleanest driver, which would be a good thing to do for him, keeping it clean and steady. The Alpine driver opting to stay out on his what am I talking about? He just pitted 2 laps ago. To opt for the medium tyre for his final stint. A lot of different strategies going on,
which is nice. I just noticed earlier when there was still a fight with Babish and David, you could see even on your very fancy graphics about top speed that Babish was reaching at so much faster in the same parts of the racetrack without DRS,
Yeah.
especially down into the hairpin. And there's another spin by Flip with a
Ah, virtual safety car.
and that is quite nicely timed for Andy again. If I'm seeing that correctly.
Yeah,
Oh, that is
Flip's
the
about
wrong
to get
Kickstarter.
lapped.
So wrong Kickstarter. And RB is taking the opportunity, which is fair.
I would have done the same. Soft tyres. Brave guy. I would have gone for another set of
Right.
mediums personally.
Yeah, I think 7 laps might be a stretch, but that is a lot of cutting off the exit white line, I have to say, I've seen today. That would be funny if Kovechka's only time penalty would be a drive-through under virtual safety car.
Flip calls it a day. Retires in the pits. Which I must say is fair enough. A driver of his caliber doesn't normally get lapped, but this just seemed like a very tricky day for him.
Yeah,
In Montreal, green
oh,
flags.
there's the drive-through penalty.
You called it. You
Vincenzo.
called it.
Yeah, wrong guy though, but it's fine. And Andy pits as well. Yeah, what you expect.
30 seconds. Does he go for the mediums?
Are Walter and David on the same time penalties? Yeah. Are they? They are. This is a straight fight for second.
Yep. Straight fight for
But
second.
there's more pressure for the D Cup than for the Ferrari at the moment.
Looking at the track limits as well. Wouter on his final stretch for a 6-second penalty. No Danger David quite far away from that, so he's only got 4 warnings. So this could still be to play for David. If you force Mr. Wouter into making a mistake, you've got 1 lap less tyre wear. He's got 1 lap younger tyres. He could perhaps close up to Wouter, force him into making a mistake. I think he's just running higher downforce, I'm pretty sure, because like you were saying, the straight line speed, Bavish is just... We can take a look down.
On board Bavish. No. On board Bavish.
We'll go here. Versus No Danger David. 334.
Yeah, that's 20 kph, but like, and there's another template. But 10 at least of them are from the DRS and the slipstream. So
they're closing up though. David did catch up. Can he force Wouter into a mistake? And possibly this P2 may be on for David. Or maybe he'll just want to do it on track. He's a traditionalist guy. I've known him for many years now. He would want to get this done on track, and he possibly can, because he seems to have got the pace today. I forget where he qualified, but pretty sure he qualified in a P3 or P2. Didn't he? Yeah, P2. Qualified P2.
That was close again.
This is
Abyss keeping it close to Rolly as Vincenzo puts in the fastest lap of the race. No points available for this fastest lap of the race anymore, but that is certainly a boost after more of a, yeah, let's call it a shitty race.
Well, they've both got DRS now, so let's have a look at these differences. Not that many. Not that much.
And David is
through.
There's been a skip by Bavish, and he's lost a bit of the end plate right inside. Touched the rear of the Ferrari. And Rolly has been overtaken by the Haas driver. Very impressive debut here, despite this only being a pre-season race. Is there a comeback by the Turkish driver? Goes around the outside, and there's a touch. And on the inside, there's just not enough room. Runs over the entry curb of 14 there. While braking, and that momentum completely shifted in the favor of the Haas driver. As we are approaching the final 5 laps of the race. And that's another few seconds for Vincenzo.
13 lap old hards versus 3 lap old softs though.
And disqualified. Ignored drive-through penalty. Vincenzo with another low light. and he's gonna be arguing to you that he is
A D2
slow
driver.
enough. He's too slow, and he, as you can see, 16th last. And Andy puts in the fastest lap of the race. That is even. Wait, check fastest laps again.
Bloody
It's,
gaps.
G
Yeah.
for gap. Ah, we can't see Vincenzo's time now. Because it's disqualified. Anywho,
112,
sucks for him.
112.3. So a second, near 9
Oh.
tenths of a second faster.
Hello, Energetic. We jinxed you again. We both said you predicted you to be in the podium. You're on the podium for the first 3 guys to be out of the race. Congrats.
I was rooting for you, buddy. Even when you went down to last place, I was saying you're going to come back up because you've got the will to do it. So tonight, the guys who's provided me with the most entertainment, where is the damn gaps? Is it gaps?
On G on the keyboard.
There it is. So yeah, Bavish, the fight between him and Danger David, I'm looking forward to see the top battles in the stats because I believe they will be in there. They've provided very much good fights for us. Very close battling as well as Bavish carries on with his damage end plate. But what can you do with only a few laps remaining? Still possibly could go for a move. Yeah, stay off. Stay out. Is he going for it?
Stay out and fight through it.
Oh, wow.
Huge gap there, huh?
Little bit of wheel banging there. As the Ferrari oversteers and steps out a tiny bit. And that gives David the momentum to leave the 2 behind.
Yeah,
oh, not for long.
Fine with that. They're
Not.
gonna be fine with that. 3 seconds compared to Bavish 9 already is gonna be a guaranteed podium. I have to say, Walter impressed me the most. If you look at where he started, I think even 9th or 10th, or even 11th. That is quite a strong race. And also take into consideration he had the VFC on the wrong end of the halfway mark of this race.
Yeah, with just his tyre choice. Yeah.
Just 1 or 2 laps more to the other side, and I think it would have played out a bit better, but the second one wasn't too bad as well. Although others, I think, benefited less. As Kovachka has retaken 2nd place. And something must have happened after.
Oh, yeah, look at his wing.
Yeah.
Completely gone. His front wing just
top speed
disappeared.
Top speed gonna be fine now. On the soft tires, it's gonna be hurting. Pit stop, I don't know if it's even. I don't think it's faster to. What is his top speed? Ah, you skipped on me.
330. It's got DRS, I think. Oh, he is coming in. I personally would have stayed out. Dangerous, yes, but I would have stayed out. Because now
every chicane is very tricky.
You'll have a hell of a job with a wing change to get out before the Sauber that's coming. So he's going to be lapped.
Yeah, it's not working. He's lapped.
But he is going to be coming out, I believe, in front of Rowley. No, he's not. What am I talking about?
Tarkagino's his next fight, and so it was lapped by everyone.
Yep, he's going to be coming out all right on the cusp. Ah, he sort of let off there. What's he doing?
No idea.
Couldn't find a throttle pedal. What's going on?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe we should turn our attention to Andy then. Because he's on the last lap of the race. Superbly driven as always. He's unchallenged. First stint was good by David, the first couple of laps. Then Bavish got ahead. Could also keep within touching distance, but you never know how much Andy is actually pushing. He has, as we said before, completed the Grand Slam in just a couple of corners time. And it's a familiar name at the top. This time it's not in the Mercedes colors, it's in the green and black Kick Sauber. That's going to be becoming the Audi team next year. Final 2 corners. Wall of Champions left behind, and he takes the preseason race in Canada as David is about to secure second place. Water 2 far behind as they're equal on time penalties. Good managed. And then it's
12
third place for
seconds
Water
again for
Fourth.
Bavish.
Yeah, he's collecting them like infinity stones. 27 seconds behind is Rolly, and then the only driver without a time penalty, and that's gonna be Kovachka. Strong race. Should be applauded. Ibo is through, Takangino, Arbis are leapt. Also Veraduko had a quite shocking race. Early spins, damage, then 60 laps on hards. And then just a late pit stop as well. Rolly is through in 5th, Kovachka is through, and now the last guy is Andrew. Poor quali meant a poor race, and he needs to be finding some consistency as he's going to be coming home as he only Williams into P7. And we are going to be excited to see what his very fast teammate Robustin can bring to Andy Andre in 7 days time, as we head to the season opener in Remind Me.
No, it's his next preseason at Imola with a sprint.
Oh yeah, I forgot, sorry.
And then the 30th of June, we begin in Division 1 in Spielberg.
Österreich.
Which I'm very excited about.
Another Andy dominant win, yeah, I'm too.
The thing is, this season will be different because Robastian will be here to take the fight to Andy. No cleanest driver.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because Kovaska had 0 pens.
Yeah. That
So
is a robbing. Daylight robbery, you could say.
For
Daylight
sure.
robbery by the game.
Absolutely. And here we
That's
have the
crazy.
final results. And in first, Nate David, where he started, P2. Mr. Wouter with the biggest from P9 to P3.
Kovachka also started 12.
So very good moving. Couple of DNFs and 1 DSQ.
Which then so 2 D2 confirmed. I'm joking. I'm joking.
The thing is, he's got a raw pace. Complete raw pace to be in Division 1. Just those little mistakes. I wonder if it has anything to do with his wheel possibly overheating and...
His wheel's overheating?
Usually, yeah. He's got a T300 in it. Overheats constantly. Maybe that's a possibility of a thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look to see if the guys would like a podium interview. Anyone?
I would like a working game next time.
Copy. Oh, we have a P3 with Mr. Wouter. Maybe we can have a word with him first. We can go 3, 2, 1 like they do in real life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, Mr. Wouter. Qualifying. Talk us through it. Saw some invalidated laps. Could you not get a quicker lap in than that one, or how was your qualifying?
Yeah, it was the first lap was the lap that Fellowson did in the World Champions. So I had to evade him, and that cost me like 5 tenths. And then the next 2 laps were invalid. So yeah, that didn't turn out to be a good qualifying. But kept my patience for the race and recovered.
Managed to keep the time penalties under control. I was having a look at your warnings. You're very close to that 6 seconds. How did you keep your nerve while battling the 2 guys, the McLaren and the Racing Bull?
Yeah, it was a bit like I got a lot of warnings in the first 2 laps due to the smoke screens that were thrown up all the time, and I missed, like, I cut the apex. And luckily, when I was in clean air, it was better. And also, the 2 guys in front of me were not locking up all the time, so that helped a lot. But yeah, I saw Bavish had 12 seconds, and I knew that if I kept it calm, I would at least beat him. So that was what I tried to do.
Okay, over to you, Herman. Thank you for answering my questions, Mr. Walter.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously great to have you back after some disappointing racing on last year's game. You seem to be finding your foot. Also, there was a good and strong showing by yourself, despite that being the Division 2. Obviously, some boys from this split were there as well. How are you finding this game so far? There's another preseason coming up in Imola with a sprint weekend. How's the overall feel, the confidence, maybe even the love for the game on your side as of right now?
Yeah, I like it a lot more. What I didn't like about last year's game were the endless DRS trains, the huge overpowered slipstream, which just made the racing so nervous. Like, if someone made a mistake, it could cost your race. And now, because of the better dirty air, the worse, like, less overpowered slipstream, and also tire management, I think it's a lot more spread out. So scale gaps are more enlarged, and I like that a lot. I just enjoy the driving when it's stringing some good laps together, and not that you have to watch your mirrors all the time. And that's why I like this game a lot more so far. And the handling is better. It feels a lot nicer. So I don't think I will leave early this year.
Yeah, you touched upon a very important fact, and that was obviously tires and tire management. You had started on a hard tires, which meant that the first VC wasn't really at that perfect moment for you. For example, Andy was still out with you at that stage, got a 3 pit stop there, and then just went on. You decided to come into as well. What was the game plan for you there? Just still continue with another stop after this one, or did you at least try to manage tires at the face? Because from what we've seen, Bevish and David both make mistakes because the gap to you just plummeted in seconds at stages in like 2 to 3 laps. How was that tire or the tires with how were they feeling for you tonight?
Yeah, it was good, but I think the stints I made were just about the right length, because the tires were worn at each stint. So I was planning to pit anyway, and then the VSC came out, and I decided to start on the hard tires because I saw a lot of people starting on mediums around me, which I know I would beat on pace, but it would be a waste of good mediums, let's say, to start behind them and use them for battling for the first few laps. So that was my plan, and then the VSC was perfect because without it, I think I would have finished 9 seconds or 10 seconds behind David and Bavish.
All right, then obviously looking forward to see you on track in Imola again, and wishing you the best of luck for the upcoming season. Thank you.
Thank you, Herman.
Gotta move
Andy,
on, Quincy.
Andy, man on top again. How are you feeling after your very dominant win? You did the Grand Slam, so you led pretty much every lap. You hit the pole position and the fastest lap at the end there on the medium tyres as well. How did your race go for you?
Well, pretty much perfect according to the result. Yeah, the gap wasn't probably as big as the time gap at the end. I was lucky with my with the two VSCs pitted under both, so gained a lot of race time with that. But other than that, everything went fine. I'm starting to find my grip with the game, turning the force feedback up a bit today, and it's really a lot better. I can feel the car in the slow speeds much better. I can feel the grip under traction, and the understeer when turning, even in the hairpins, which I didn't really do on the previous game. It was just a bit of guesswork. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it this far.
Looking back at the last couple of races we did, you were a little bit slower than I would have predicted you. I thought you would have had a very much start a faster start to the game, but it looks like you're sort of getting to grips with it now. Are you doing any more league racing, or are you just doing the normal practice that you would normally would for your preparation for this season coming?
No, I'm not doing anything else except for this league. For the preparation was pretty much the same as last week, but yeah, I'm just starting to get the grip with the game a bit better. I did a few time trials in Canada a few days ago, and earlier today, I tried about half a race distance. So yeah, I had a pretty good eye in to say so. And just before the start, I tried a couple of qualifying laps, which really helped throughout the last season. Just the last minute qualifying attempts really helped me gain. Um, I know the English expression. Yeah, this helped me a lot to get in the phase to say so.
Oh, that's good. That's the questions from me. Thank you for answering my questions, Herman.
Yep, thank
Yeah,
you.
obviously there's gonna be a season with different drivers now in the field. We are losing some to Division 2. You have also battled already with some before in previous iteration, obviously of this one in Falcons League before. What do you expect from your toughest competitors, and if you would name them right now, who do you think is gonna be up there at the front for yeah, fighting for the wins, fighting for the podium places? Also, we're missing some today, so yeah, feel free to mention anyone you feel like is gonna be in your rearview mirrors more closely and more often, maybe than before.
Uh, Honestly, I'm not so much worried about my rear view mirrors rather than from my front view this season. I think Sebastian to be on top at the end of the season, but I don't know. It's too early to make any predictions. Really didn't really have a race with. Serious race with too much practice, so I can't really tell his pace right now. But from the experience I had racing with him before, I expect him to finish on top this season.
Yeah, one more thing, obviously, we got two preseason races already done. There's one coming up next week with a sprint week format. What is something you as a driver, especially at the start of a new game, is looking at to maybe practice or experiment with at the start when there's yeah three? I don't think we had even three preseason races in a couple of seasons. What is the main point you're thinking about when going into these things? Are you experimenting tires, setups, anything you feel like needs more knowledge before you start into the next full season?
No, I didn't give this year's game too much of a thought. I just took these two races as they came. Didn't really study to do the perfect setup or research the tire wear patterns, or I didn't even know which would be faster, a one stop or a two stop. But uh, the VSCs gave me the opportunity to go for two stops, and I went for that one, but wasn't really sure which was gonna be the best. So yeah, honestly, I haven't been doing too much preparation regarding that, but uh, I'll just take the races as they come and try to learn from each one, and yeah, hopefully towards the later part of the season, I'll get a good hang of things.
All right. Thank you for taking my questions.
And now
Thank you.
we move on to the rookie reserve driver.
Yeah.
Qualified P. Where did you qualify? P13.
Something like that, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, but had strong race pace until he lost his wing. I was
Yep.
screaming at the screen, why oh why did you go for a soft at the end of your stint? I thought you was going to go for a medium. I didn't think the
I
softs
didn't have
would.
any.
You didn't have
All I
any.
had was all I had was one set of hards, one set of medium, and one set of softs. So I'd gone medium hard, and then all I had left was softs. Because when Kovacs pitted, I thought, and he went onto the mediums, I thought I'm going to have to cover his undercut. But then when I checked on my MFD and seen what tyres I had left, all I had was a used set of mediums, the hards that I were on, and a new set of softs. So that's the only thing I had to go on to. So then I stayed out for a bit longer. Luckily the VSC came in, so that covered Kovacs. And then I just lost it towards the end because I forgot his name, but he had a 3-second penalty and I had a 6-second penalty. So when I got past, I had to try and push a bit to try and get with it 3 seconds clear,
Yeah.
just so that my penalty wouldn't hold me back when we crossed the line. And obviously, I've pushed a little bit too hard coming out of turn 2 and lost the rear end.
Yeah, I think that was either Rowley or maybe Tarkangino, possibly. I'm not too
I
sure.
think it was Rolly. Now you say it.
Yeah. Apart from that, how was your first SSRL race? How did you think it? How do you think it go? Did you enjoy it? Do you see yourself racing here anymore after that?
Yeah, loved it. Obviously qualifying, I was thereabouts. That top 4 are rapid. I couldn't keep up with them. Nowhere near them. But I think the middle pack, I think I was the fastest out of the middle pack race pace wise. But like I say, if I had another set of mediums, I'd have pitted a bit earlier and gone onto another set of mediums, and I think I'd have been all right. But having to go onto the softs for 8 laps when tyre deg on that track on the rears is mega. It just ruins you. Having to use the softs and then trying to pull a gap on someone else who's on the hard. I didn't know how old his tyres were, but I think they were a bit shot out.
Fairly old, yeah, they were fairly
Yeah,
old.
I
Yeah,
thought so.
I think I saw one of your overtakes as well into turn 4 that I thought was just a crazy place to try and overtake. I'm going to have to clip it and send it to you, but amazing move, very clean, and it looked good. So I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Thank you for answering my questions, Herman.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Yeah, one more just for me. There was obviously the outlier from you at the start of the race. You kind of extended over the rest of the midfield pack with this with the mediums. Any particular thought process with the tire allocation you had for you available here?
Yeah, so looking back now, I would choose a hard. I just went the balanced. But looking back now, I'd choose the harder selection because when I was obviously through your qualifying, you use your softs. You have one set of mediums, one set of softs, one set of hards. So when I was picking the strategy, I was working out what was best. And I've done a few practice laps this afternoon on Canada, and I've noticed that the tyre deg was quite bad. So I knew that if I could hold on to the mediums for as long as I could, and then go on to the hards, I'd have a bit more pace on the hards towards the end, and then I can pit a bit later onto the softs and have as much tyre as I can towards the end. But then, like I say, I ended up pitting onto the softs, and they started getting a bit worn, and I got a bit eager trying to get that 3-second gap, and I just lost the rear end. But that's the only reason with my strategy, just the tyre allocation that I had. I just didn't have enough harder tyres to do the race on another set of mediums.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, well, there's another preseason race coming up as well. There might be obviously opportunities to experiment with that. Any particular thing you feel about when looking at for maybe Imola? Do you like it? Do you hate it? How is it compared to Canada today?
I only got the game a week ago, and I'm on a new PC, and I've just updated my wheels, so I'm still kind of getting used to that. I don't know if you've seen, but I had a bit of a terrible start because I've mapped all my buttons, and I keep holding what used to be the clutch, and then forgetting that I've got a new clutch on my wheel, so I'm a bit slow off the start. But in regards to Imola, I've never been the fastest around Imola, but I seem to struggle in qualifying, and then my race pace isn't too bad. So I think if I can keep my battery for the main straight, so that I've got enough for overtakes, as it's hard to overtake anywhere else. If I can keep my battery for that main straight, with my race pace that I've got, I think I should be all right. So yeah, we'll have to see, but I'll have to do some practice and see what sort of tyre allocation I'm going to need for the weekend, because this race I ballsed up a bit with the tyre strap, but live and learn.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
even though it's still a good race, mate, still good pace, looking very clean out there as well, which is what we love to see in SSRL, and we will
It was a bit
hopefully.
tight on a few corners.
Yeah, but it's all good and clean. I haven't heard any reports as yet, so but yeah, good to hear from you guys, and we will see you next week for another thrilling episode at Imola with the sprint race.
Sure will. Cheers, buddy.
Thank you guys. Take care.
See you again. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Right now, Herman, that is the end of race 2 in the Silly Season Racing League for the pre-season. I can't talk now. I'm just going to leave it to you with the outro because I don't know what I'm doing. Is he gone? He's gone. I'm on my own. Oh my god. I look like such an idiot. As we watch this Alpine spin around in its circle, we're going to turn the UI off. We say goodbye and we will see you guys on the next race, which will be in Imola in 7 days' time for Division 1